welcome to a scene. Oh wow, we just went live. That was weird. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a scene for the Sept of Forgotten Stories, the a Werewolf the Apocalypse venue that is set in Dublin, Ireland. This is the debut scene of this venue being a solo venue. It used to be part of a larger one. We have now separated it into its own entity. In this scene, we're going to have a large amount of emotions where we have Maeve O'Brien is going to be accompanying her mate's aunt, and she considers her own aunt as well. She's been around her a long time, to speak with her husband about some secrets that she's been keeping.
Yeah, Maeve has, a thing of tea and tissues because she knows this is probably not going to be fun. And she's what? Shit. She got pregnant in June, July. 4 months pregnant now?
Yep, so she's got a little bump showing.
It's twins. It's more than a little bump.
Oh, right, it is twins. Shit. Yeah, so she's got a bump. Definite baby bump.
Definite bump.
Which they're probably about to find out what the twins are.
That it is twins.
Oh, yeah, that it is twins.
Wait, no, they would have found out well before now.
Yeah, the first sonogram, they would have found out that it was twins.
Yep, they're just now finding out.
And yeah, because right after Maeve went to Rose to ask about having twins as kinfolk.
Yes.
But they're about to find out
genders.
The what the babies are. So that's going to be great. We will do that in another scene.
Indeed.
In this scene, Rose is looking to Maeve very nervously. And she says, I've put this off long enough. I need to tell him.
Yeah, Maeve has, a thermos of tea and a box of tissues.
She already has tears in her eyes. She looks to her and she says, what if I lose him? I don't know what to do. He's been the last 18 years of my life.
If he can't see past, well, your past, then he wasn't worth it to begin with.
There is one other thing that I didn't tell you. Was the reason why I had to leave. It was because I was being obsessed over by another member of their family, and I needed I had to get away from him. About 11 years ago, he found me.
She knows how old the kids are.
Mm-hmm. Bella may not be Adams.
Okay. Well, we will deal with that when we come to it.
She swallows. And I don't. She takes a deep breath. Her heart feels like it's going to beat right out of its chest. He's probably at the Karen Heart.
All right. Do you want me to go get him and bring him here, or do you want to do this there?
Oh, there might be better. He's a Thayard, so at least he has lower rage. I almost want to go get Alyssa, bring her with us just in case something happens. She needs to hear it too anyway. Okay, Karen. And I have Liam talking in the background over here too.
No, you can play with that one. You can't play with the one that has my coffee. No, you can't have my coffee. Sorry. My coffee.
Do you think that that's a good idea?
If she needs to know, then it might be for the best. Just in case he does. Frenzy.
She might too, but maybe for a different reason than he would.
Then let's go get her.
She nods and they go over to
The Cub House.
the Cub House, which is where she is.
She always is.
Yep. Let me get her overlay up. So even when I prepare overlays, the characters do other things. And I have to like redo shit in the middle of the scene.
Right?
Oh wow, look at the way their overlays flow together. That is insane.
That's amazing.
Rose will approach, and Alyssa looks to both of them, and she can tell immediately that there is something wrong. And she looks to Rose. Well, what is going on? And she goes over to her. I have things that I need to tell Adam, and you need to hear it too. And I will also need to tell Sebastian, but I don't want him to come with us right now. But I need you. Please. And Alyssa nods. Of course. And she'll wrap her arms around Rose, and Rose will hug her back. Of course I will go. She looks over to Maeve. I'm assuming you already know when you're coming to.
I've known for a while.
She'll nod. I can tell by all of the tension and emotions that I feel already that this is something big. And Rose just nods. You don't even know. You'll know soon enough. Come on. And she takes her hand and holds it. The love between these two is very apparent. um, and we'll hold her hand the entire way to the Cairn Heart. Uh, where they will find this man who looks calm and serene. He usually has a very pleasant demeanor about him. Um, he's spends a lot of time meditating at the Cairn Heart, and that is sort of his adopted quote office. He doesn't have like a building or anything, but that is where he stays most of the time in case people have any questions or anything that they need to ask him regarding rites and other spiritual matters. Um, as the three women approach, he looks up and he initially smiles very pleasantly, but then when he notices the tension, his face falls a bit, and he sort of furrows his brow, and he speaks with a Canadian French accent that I'm not going to attempt because that would just be rude. um, and I don't know how to move just one over on the bottom. It adjusts all of them. Whatever. Anyway. And he pats the ground next to him for Rose to come sit, which she will. But Alyssa will sit right next to her on the other side.
Maeve will kind of sit cross-legged across from them.
And he'll look to Rose. What's wrong? And she takes a very deep breath. And she actually will reach a hand out for Maeve, as they're all sitting close enough that she could hold her hand. And she'll look to him. I have a lot of things that I have not told you about my past. And he sort of kind of gives an almost bewildered look. And he says, okay, like what? Like the look on his face is, you know, what could possibly be so bad that she's this nervous? And you, you do that you know that before I met you that I was with the Petrova family, and he nods. I know that. Oh, what you don't know is that I have two children with Alexei and Xenia. And his brows go up. Well, why didn't you tell me? She shakes her head because I then would have had to tell you why I had to leave them. I never wanted to leave them. Alyssa will reach over and take her hand. She did know that there was something else going on there that she wasn't saying. She didn't pry even all these years. She's a little bit too child guy for that. um, I was being harassed and obsessed over by another member of their family. And to when I went to their father about it, he didn't really believe me that one of his own would be capable of the things that I was saying that he was doing. And he sort of stiffens because he understands what she's insinuating. So does Alyssa. And he nods. Okay. So he told me that I could either let it go or I could leave, but I had to leave my kids with them. I found out later that he is he was a black spiral dancer that he had redeemed and then adopted as one of his own, and he had flourished, so it seemed. I heard a few years later that he actually rejoined. And about 11 years ago, when we were all in San Francisco, he found me. And Adam, he looks to her and furrows his brow. 11 years ago. So are you saying that are you saying that Bella might not be mine? She tears up and bites her lip, and she nods. That's That's exactly what I'm saying. He rubs his face and he stands up. And he takes a very deep breath. You kept all of this from me. You didn't think that I would want to know any of this? Rose just looks absolutely scared out of her mind.
Maeve is gonna stand up.
Alyssa looks up to Maeve.
Just because she didn't tell you doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Trust me, she's been agonizing over it.
Adam looks to Maeve. So you knew about this.
Only for a little while now. She told me because she wanted someone to come with her. To be here when she told you.
What, is she scared of me? Alyssa will look to Adam. I don't think that it was a matter of being scared. It was a matter of
Someone here to support her, hold her hand. Exactly what I've been doing.
he shakes his head. There's a lot of secrets to keep. I understand the Shadow Lords and their secrets, but this is. And you're saying that our daughter might be the child of Black Spiral Dancer?
It's hardly her fault.
Yeah, Alyssa will say, you really think that she wanted any of this? If you thought for a second that she would, you don't know Rose. And you've been her husband for 18 years. How could you dismiss her so quickly? Adam will look to all of them. I need time to think. And he turns around and walks away.
Yeah, maybe pull your head out of your arse while you're at it.
And when he leaves, Rose will just break down, sobbing. Alyssa will hold her and stroke her hair. If he leaves, you'll be fine. You have us. And he will not leave this sept with those children.
No, he won't. If I have to talk to Kieran myself and make sure it doesn't happen.
You don't deserve any of this, and I am so sorry. He is not the man I thought he was. Rose just nods. I honestly had a gut feeling that this might be his reaction.
If you can't accept your past, he didn't deserve you in the first place.
Alyssa nods in agreement.
And that's his loss.
It sure is, because you are a wonderful person, an amazing mother who would do anything for her children. You tried to protect everybody, yeah, and you killed yourself for years with these secrets. I wish you would have told me a long time ago, because I would have been there right by you. She nods. I was just afraid to tell anyone. I didn't want anybody to get hurt because of that. I thought that the less people that knew, the better. I know now that that probably wasn't the best thing, but I was just scared. And he's still out there. And I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, wondering when he's going to show up.
Well, you know what he looks like. Make sure you let Lita know.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. That way she knows not to let him on Sept.
He was going to get down on the ground with them and wrap her arms around Rose.
Rose will lean into her, still crying.
She will rub her back and stroke her hair.
I'm going to lose my husband.
Well, he didn't deserve you. And I've got no doubts that you're going to find someone 100 times better than him.
Yeah. But I hope you're right. Alyssa will look to her, and you won't be alone. You have us.
Yep. You got me. You got all your family. Soon to be a little bigger.
She smiles at that. So does Alyssa. She's very happy to have grandchildren coming. As much as she loathes the fact that she calling herself, well, she wouldn't call herself grandmother, abuela. but yeah, they both they both smile at that. I think I'm more worried about how it's going to affect the kids. That their father would just leave like that. And I don't care who Bella's sperm donor is. She's always been Adam's.
I think that was what made me the angriest just now, that he... Nope, not.
Alyssa reaches over and squeezes Maeve's hand.
He's lucky I didn't punch him, because I was about to.
Oh, so was I. I wanted to do more than punch him, but that would be my Shadow Lord showing. Rose kind of grins. I actually would have enjoyed seeing you punch him.
I should have.
Or smite him with the power of Grandfather Thunder. Alyssa kind of nods. I do have the ability. There's still time. Yeah, I can do it when he least expects it, and it doesn't matter where he is. Grandfather Thunder will find him. There is no hiding from Grandfather Thunder. Rose takes a bit of comfort in that. Alyssa will, as much as she can, wrap her arms around both of them.
I mean, these are three fairly
Tiny.
tiny women.
They're all small, and it's great. They're all pretty tiny. Like 5'2". What's Maeve? It's the same.
5 foot.
5 foot. So we have 5 foot, 5'2", and 5'4". Rose is the tallest. This is great.
A conglomerate of tiny women.
Yes.
I wouldn't fuck with any of them, though.
No. Definitely not. Come on. Let's go back. I will make everybody some tea.
Yes.
I have a special tea for you, Maeve.
Do you know?
I do. It'll help you with any discomfort you're having with 2 babies in there.
Been mixing some special blends myself.
I figured this one out when I was pregnant. And I've had 25 years to improve upon it.
Longer than I've been alive.
She nods and smiles. I have all the confidence in the world that yours is good, but I know mine's better. She just kind of gives her a teasing grin. Besides, I'm mommy.
Yes, you are. I figured I should tell you. I've been looking into what happened to Annie.
Oh,
Checking her story and retracing her steps as much as I can from here.
I am not going to tell you what to do, but I am going to tell you to please be careful.
I will. I'm not going to risk these two.
Please don't.
I will be careful.
I mean, I don't want you to risk yourself either. We kind of like you around here.
I should hope so.
She smiles and she hugs Maeve.
Though, during my looking, I did happen to stumble upon the fact that there is a Get a Fenris sept not too far from where she was.
Oh, really?
I figured I could try and reach out. I know they're not allowed here, but who's to say I couldn't go there?
Alyssa will nod. She'll ask her, do you know the name of the sept?
Would she have figured that much out?
Let me see. I
I can go make a roll right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll something. Yeah, give me a intelligence investigation.
That is 6 dice.
Standard difficulty.
Would her bookworm intelligence specialty apply?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Can I have my hand back?
Nope. No, you can't.
Clearly not.
Mm-mm.
That is 4 successes. Ow! No! Fucking bite me? No! No! Lay down. You fucking broke skin! You little
Ow.
douche! You little asshole!
Ow!
No! Get off me! I don't want you! You're mean! But yeah, that is 4 successes.
Okay. You know, Freya. It is the Sept of Freya's beauty. They are a sept that is dedicated to Freya, and you also know that the Sept Alpha has a special connection to Freya, though you're not entirely sure what that is. But that it is actually fairly well known that they are that they uphold the ideals of Freya's love and protection of women in particular, that even some Black Furies feel safe there, which is a big deal because it's a Get of Fenris sept. And there's not a lot of good history between the Black Furies and the Get of Fenris.
It was the Sept of Freya's beauty.
Alyssa's brows go up because she knows about it. She's a Galliard.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe that I didn't actually think of that. They are just inside the border between us and England.
She nods.
Oh, that's actually not terribly far away.
No, and that's the
And
closest
I
sept to where
to where Annie was.
what happened. I'll put it that way.
If he is a member of that sept and they found out, I really don't think that they would look upon that very kindly.
You had his name right.
I believe so.
I'll talk to my aunt. She's the one who did the Right of Heritage.
She nods.
If anyone's got the name, she does.
She would, yes. She would have the name.
I mean, I could
be
just text, but it should just be easier to go there.
You should.
I don't know any other phone numbers.
And you should be safe to go there to talk to them. Nothing is going to happen to you at that sept. especially if Maeve doesn't have gnosis, does she?
No, she doesn't.
Damn it, she can't moonbridge.
She doesn't mind flying.
Yeah. Especially if you I can send word ahead for somebody to meet you. That way you have an escort.
She smiles a little bit.
Because I don't want anything happening to you.
Nothing's gonna happen to me.
I know it's not because I'm making
I'm a
sure
big
that it's not.
girl.
She furrows her brow at her. And I still have to protect you as much as I can.
Technically, you're not the one who's supposed to be protecting me. It's your son.
I have to protect him too. She smiles.
I'm sure he would take a great offense to that.
I'm sure he would. And he can get over it.
Oh, you're gonna make him all broody.
He already is.
Even more so than he already is. And that's saying something.
She nods at that.
Between him and his da. And don't deny it, your husband broods.
Oh, does he? I
Fucking broody ass shadow lords.
That's why I joined the Children of Gaia. But I am not one of those pushover Children of Gaia. I'm too
hardly.
stubborn. I am way too stubborn for that. What?
Check Facebook Messenger.
Oh, shit. Oh my god, that's funny.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Oh, I know you aren't. You're too much. There's too much Shadow Lord in you.
she nods at that. There is.
In more ways than one.
I was not going to say it, but I was thinking it. Thank you, Maeve, for that.
I blame your son.
Rose shakes her head and blushes.
I blame your son. I wasn't like this before.
No, you weren't. I blame him too. But I kind of like it. You're more fiery. Though still not as fiery as your cousin. She's something else.
Considering she forced me into a fucking outfit for mine and Bailey's first date.
She did.
I felt naked.
And then you got naked. Don't think I don't know what happened.
Well, yes, I did. Again, that was your son's fault.
I know. But I know what happened that night. I am not stupid.
That was an interesting night, to say the least. Considering their due date, it's probably when that happened.
Yep, Netflix and get pregnant.
Which I was just telling Saoirse earlier that night I wouldn't be doing that. Well, so much for that.
You made yourself out to be a liar.
Yes, I did.
That's okay. She smiles.
If I had to do it again 100 times over, I'd still do the same thing.
I honestly am very glad. I've wanted the two of you to get together for a long time.
Admittedly, if I had to do it all over again, I'd probably tell him a hell of a lot sooner.
You wouldn't have waited so long?
But it was just 6 years. It wasn't that
Oh, only 6 years.
bad.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not the only one. My brother's just as bad.
She nods. And I am very well aware that Avery has had a crush on him since she was like, what, 14?
Let's see. It was 6 years ago. She's 19 now. 13.
13.
Though, to be fair, it would have been illegal back then, for those two anyway.
I would have killed him.
I don't doubt it. At least they waited. Oh,
She nods.
hmm.
Still waiting for him to come ask us if he can claim her.
I'll poke him a little bit.
She smiles.
Or Rose could poke him. I'm sure, he's been at her place a lot more than he has mine.
She kind of spreads her hands out. He really doesn't leave.
I mean, it's like I can't get any time with my brother. He's either in the fucking Umbra or he's, at your house with your niece.
So come over to the house and grab him by the ear and force him to spend time with you.
Fair enough.
And I can take Avery out. Honestly, could probably use a girl's day anyway.
We'll do that. And then another day I'll go grab my idiot brother.
She nods. Yes, the four of us. Me, Alyssa, you, and Avery. Alyssa will nod. She absolutely will not pass up the time to spend with her daughter and her soon-to-be daughter-in-law, even though Bailey hasn't proposed to her yet, and her sister. She doesn't even say sister-in-law. She's her sister. Oh, she's actually a bit more than that, but whatever. So yeah, Alyssa's not going to object to that at all. So I think unless you have anything else you want to do in this scene, we can probably close it.
I think we can close it out.
Alrighty.
We do have a bunch of NPCs to introduce, but we can do that later.
We can. It does not need to be done in this scene. This scene,
oh God, no.
It can just have its own. All right. So, with that, we will end this scene that I appropriately called Bombshell. I thank you, player, for playing, and I thank you, watcher, for watching, and thank you to anyone else who watches this scene at a later date. We will see you next time. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are.